Rigoletto is one of the perfect operas. It's got everything.
It's an intimate psychological drama.
It has this amazing music, full of emotions.
You have to express every single feeling that a human being could have.
It's a complete masterpiece, both musically and dramatically. So it's always a joy. This opera is about a father and his daughter and a love affair gone wrong.
Rigoletto is a very complex character. He's been very damaged from the trauma that he's experienced.
He lost his wife. He found himself with a daughter, Gilda. She is in that part of her life that's discovering things. And that makes him to be more cautious.
She's not allowed to meet people, certainly not allowed to meet young men, and she's quite lonely. But at church, she catches the eye of a young man who's the Duke in disguise. He's the first man that has ever given her any kind of attention other than her dad.
The Duke is someone who has all the power in the world. He's also got all the money in the world. He's got fabulous wealth and privilege.
He's a very narcissistic man who loves sex, money, and total power.
He uses it in an abusive way. He's corrupt. And Rigoletto is complicit in that and that system by working for him. And the idea of a society which is totally materialistic and totally in the hands of people who have all the money is something that we can relate to even to this day, of course.
The design actually reflects, particularly in Act 1, the Duke's character. There's a sort of leathered texture to the design of a sort of gentleman's club, a world of inherited wealth that's been handed down through generations of entitlement.
There's a journey from somewhere that is very luxuriant and materialistic to somewhere that is very, very depressing and bleak and austere. In our version, the Duke is someone who collects not only women, but art. They're kind of the same thing for him, they're objects.
We settled on Titian's Venus of Urbino, which is sort of a key artwork in the history of Western art. He's a cruel, immoral man, but he's got great taste. So there's something sort of terrifying about that, actually.
I think that was good the way you came in. The energy is very, very strong into the room. And then when you see your father, it's like, oh God, what am I going to do? How am I going to handle this?
Ollie, as a director, comes from a very strong theatrical point of view.
I think keep going, but slowly.
We look at the text together. We go through what was written in the play and then what's in the libretto, and we go from there.
You're still playing with ideas of pain, aren't you, which is good. But I think really tell him, Dad, we need to be alone now.
Sure.
Yeah,
yes.
great, thank you. Yeah.
He's very precise. He looks at every detail. He wants to repeat, even if it's a good take.
Oh, Carlos, I think it'd be good if, I think you can stay at the door for much longer. And this kind of, I'm glad that's not my daughter. So we see a kind of human side.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Ultimately, what one wants to do with a piece is to make it very direct and alive for a contemporary audience.
Don't look back at Sabina. You lose interest in her straight away.
And that's why we've been drawn to making it something where there is the tragic dimension, which is informed by Greek tragedy and Shakespearean tragedy, but which also has a moral perspective.
Liberate. After the cadenza, non invidio, let all the air out.
Yeah.
Okay, because if you go non invidio, look what happens. Look how high you are with the breath. Okay? Yeah.
I think the Verdi style, it's so difficult, so higher technically, but I think it's so very close to the heart.
You can't escape the vocal challenges that Verdi puts in his scores by just acting your way through them. Gilda starts the opera much higher in the range, and it kind of settles down. You almost need a whole nother register ready and waiting for the second act.
I take Rigoletto very seriously because he is one of the most important characters in opera for baritones. Vocally, you have to give everything. You have to show how good the score is.
In Rigoletto, all of the music is inspiring. There isn't a dull moment in it. The characters are fantastic and rich, complex, and the conflicts between them are electric. And you're invited by Verdi to reflect on the ethics of what you're beholding and draw your own conclusions about what it might mean for your own life.